So I think guys, here we go with another unboxing. Doing it in a slightly different way because I'm in my other man cave, the one I've just sort of finished if you're watching the previous video. So you can see basically I'm in the new sort of room. So I haven't got any of this set up properly yet, but we're going to have a look at Soo Soo Toys' Dark Spider. Now, one of the things that put us off getting this one for a while was that they said the pre-order version of it came with the hat. Okay, and I was like thinking to myself, well, I haven't pre-ordered it, it's not thingy, am I going to get the hat? Because if I don't get the hat with it, to me, the hat is part and parcel of what makes this figure look so damn good. But we'll see. So, just a quick look at the things here, the warnings, the notices, Dark Spider. That's not really what we're here to see, is it? And it's a shoebox style one, so if I can get this open with one hand while I think there could be a nightmare to get open with one hand. And this one's going to be just exactly that, a friggin' nightmare to get open. So, a quick pause, and we're back. Again, if you look at this, see, if you look at that, without the hat, he still looks good, but, you know, that, to me, that with a hat on looks so much better. But that's still a good bit of artwork there. Again, I think it looks cool. Obviously, you remember this was from the Spiderverse. There's more else in the Spiderverse. But look, we do get the hat. I am so happy when I opened this up and saw that. The rest of it, we'll sort of, let's have a look and see what we've got. I'm just going to pause it while I get this top thing off. And obviously I took a little bit of plastic off him as well, because it was a little plastic bag that he was inside of. Don't know how he's still alive, he should be suffocated by now, but so you get plenty of choice of hands. Yeah, all gloved ones, even another one across there, so you've got plenty of choice of hands. If it will home in on these, there you go. They look okay, look decent enough. And they've got like the buckle on there, obviously just sculpted, but it still looks nice. So plenty of choice of hands there. That's the character, let's have a look. I mean, I think he looks wicked. I think he looks really cool. Can't see really any eyes in it. I don't think this. So these don't remove, which obviously they didn't in the film either, as far as I'm aware. But I think this guy looks cool. I mean, one of the things that worries is obviously is the sort of pleather style effect, especially as most of it is that type of material in the top half of them. Yeah, so that does worry us a bit. He has a gun in the holster, which is good. Yeah, but it's like just all this pleathery stuff, you know. That's sort of one of the main sort of concerns you probably have. Luckily, I live in the UK and I haven't really had much, I believe, in any problems with the pleather of anything yet. Bar obviously the Predator figures, but half of them came like that to start with for us. Yeah, and obviously this is just material down here. The boots, thankfully, even though they look like the thingy, that actually, by the looks of it, are split cut, so that's good. Yeah, so you're going to get some good articulation with them. Though it would have been nice if you had toe articulation with this one, so that I could have bent the toes up and have his toes against sort of a wall or something like that. Because I do want to try and get this one in a sort of a classic look where he's against a wall, you know, hanging from a ceiling or hanging from a wall, sort of doing what he does. Maybe he's gun in hand or something like that. But you know, I think he looks really nice. I was on the fence for quite a while about him, but when I saw sort of quite a few people, the poses that they managed to get out of him, and that, I was like, okay, this one is kind of cool. I like me Spider-Man figures, so it was definitely thinking. And of course, like I say, when I found out that I did get the hat, that was a majority of a thing for us. It was like, yes, I am well happy that I managed to get a hat with it as well, because I think that just sets the figure off nicely. And of course, so does just sit on the top. The fact that it's sort of, if you can push it down onto the thing, sort of is a little bit of a concern to think, well, could that start to rub off some of the actual thing underneath of it? It's hard to say, but the fact that I'll probably wouldn't even be taking the damn thing off once it's on, you know, it'll probably be staying on. I don't know how I'm going to do the articulation that I would normally do, since I can't exactly hold it and articulate it at the same time. So let's see if I can figure that one out, and then we'll show you some of the articulation you can get with this fella. Okay guys, so this is probably the best way I'm going to be able to show you it, and I'm sort of, if the camera's not as good as what it was, and if you can hear the dog in the background walking, like I say, it's flooring. But if the camera's not quite as good, it's because I've had to turn it around so that I can actually see the picture as the same as what you are. So, you can set yourselves doing, son. So, back isn't too great. Forward you can look down quite nicely. Take the helmet off, his hood off, so you can see. Not got much side to side. Obviously, the spinning round is fine. What we've got with the shoulders wise, go up quite high. Come forward, fix it all the way round. It seems like there's a little bit of a ratchet in certain spots, or it's just getting in certain spots, but I don't know if you can see that, but that's, it's like springing back out a bit, which is a bit, I think, because it means you're not going to be able to get certain positions on it, because it's just going to spring itself back into a position. You've got a beautiful bend. You know, you kind of complain that that has a beautiful bend on it, though you can't bend it backwards. In fact, that's either snapped or it's come out the joint. I'm hoping it's just come out the joint, because if that's snapped, I'm going to be well pissed off, because this is a brand fucking new figure, and that feels like it's fucking might have freaking snapped out. Hopefully it's just come out the joint, but it does seem to be like it's that feels like it's fucking snapped. And if it has, I'm not going to be all happy, because this is a freaking brand new figure, and I've literally just bent the bloody damn thing once to try and show you. But you know, I believe that might have went back into position, so maybe it is a thing that it can come out, but that's still a bit disconcerting, to say the least, that you do that and, you know what I mean, it's like sort of snaps out. Yeah, so there, it's better, it's in a better position now, it's not bending the other way quite so much. The thing is, because that one's doing exactly the same freaking thing, so it's like from straight away I'm having to push the arms back into it to place in order to think, but you do get a double bend. You have got movement in the upper bicep. You have got a butterfly joint in there, so you're going to get plenty of motion. But like I said, what did worry us and what is concerning is the fact that the spring that was in there, and then you come to the legs and it's like, can you see that? Again, that is like, really, what body is Soo Soo fucking toys used here? Because that is pretty shit. That has got that much fucking motion on it immediately. For it being supposedly a brand fucking spanking new figure. Yeah, getting good range of motion on the knee, so that's cool. Those worries again, like I say, this thing, because his hip feels like it juts out and juts in just here. Yeah, so I don't know if you've got the figure, please let me know if that's right, if that's the way it's supposed to be, because that just feels like, you know what I mean, that's just like really slack. You know, the other side seems to be the same. It's just, you know, it seems awfully slack, but you do get the pivot. You have got a good knee bend. You've got a little bit of ankle articulation there. But that, for me, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. It really is, especially for a figure that I was on the fence at for quite a while. For it to come back and for it to be like that. You do get a bit of waist movement around the waist area, but that is the concerning part for me, is like just how, like, that is just really slack, and that's sort of a disappointment. I hope maybe that this is just my figure that's like this. Though if it is just my figure, that was a bit of a freaking thingy, because obviously I got this from Comic Santorum. I had this on a pre-payment plan for ages, and eventually sort of paid it off and got it sent to us. So for it to come and find out that it's basically like that's the leg or so freaking slack, because that might mean then trying to put him in a position where he's against the wall, like, you know, sort of clinging against the wall or something like that, might make this a bloody nigh impossible to do, because of his legs being so fucking slack, because it'll just tip over and really liable to fall off. But I'll have to look at that when it comes time to do that part of it. But for right now, still a cool looking figure. I'm just really not as happy with the way his legs are and the way his arms sort of aren't quite as tight as it should be. They're obviously using a cheap body by the looks of it, which is a shame. So Toys need to get that sorted. That's it, that shit sorted out. Bloody hell, it's a tongue twister. But anyway, guys, from sort of a little bit disappointing in places to it looks a cool figure, and I'm happy with the way it looks. And if I can manage to get it to pose the way I want it to pose, which you might see that in a future video when I eventually get around to doing that thing, then it might still be a cool figure. I'm just concerned that the legs aren't going to be able to hold it in the position I want to put it in, because I'm going to be going back and looking at a few people's videos again at how they've got him posed up, because I quite fancy the idea of having the gun in his hand, having him against the wall, sort of hanging either off, like say, off the ceiling or off the wall, with a gun in hand type thing, you know, because he was a cool character in the movie. And he still looks a cool character now, guys. He does look cool. It's just that bit in the legs. Man, that's disappointing for me. You know, I've waited so long for him. I was on the fence for so long, and then get him like that. Well, I suppose you're just going to have to hope that he poses the way I want him to, and that it won't be a total disaster. Because he looks cool. He does look cool. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate those that have. You know what I mean? It's always sort of nice if you just want to sort of lay a comment on me and we can have a chat about it. And like I say, if anyone who's got this figure, can you let me know? Is your legs as bad as that? Or was yours a lot better? In the fact that straight away his fucking arm from the elbow joint just basically popped out instantly. I was like really worried that I'd broken it immediately. Thankfully that's gone back in, so that's not so bad, because I didn't want to have to take the coat and everything off and try not to work that out. It's going to be bad enough when I try and take the bloody these fists off. Yeah, but you do get the spare wrist pegs for that. You do as well get a sort of a few spider style effects, web effects, and you do get the sort of the Spider-Man thingy with the proper sort of want to have him in a flight sort of position if you wanted to. But other than that, guys, that's all I got to say on this matter. It's time for me now to sort of put him away for the time being and get on with other things. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one, because I am out of here.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,
Okay.